With just days to go, those of us who didn't receive an invitation to the coronation have had time to overcome our disappointment. So who can we expect to see filling the pews of Westminster Abbey? Seating will be pre-arranged. The pecking order of who sits where is another well-guarded secret. But we do have some idea of who has said yes, apart from the 850 community representatives who comprise 450 British Empire medal recipients and 400 young people from groups selected by the royal family. Among them, teenager Max Woosie, known as the boy in the tent, who raised money for his local hospice by sleeping in a tent for 3 years. So this is a long list of who will be there or who might be there. And it is a very long list, but it will give you an idea of just what this coronation encompasses. We'll start with the Prince and Princess of Wales. One journalist has hinted that chestnut-haired Catherine may be wearing a hint of blue. The Prince will most likely wear one of his uniforms. Prince Harry, who's coming alone, will probably wear a formal suit as he did for his grandmother's state funeral. Princess Anne, the Princess Royal, and husband Commander Tim Lawrence will of course be there. The Princess, the hardest-working royal, is well known for repurposing her outfits, very much in keeping with her brother's belief in sustainability, but she will be taking an active part in the procession, leaving the Abbey as the gold stick in waiting. The prestigious position, which she's held since 1998, dates back to the 15th century, when 2 officers, a gold stick and a silver stick, were placed close to the monarch to protect them from harm. Anne, who's 2 years younger than the king and still an accomplished horsewoman, as was the late Queen, well into her 90s, will ride on horseback in uniform behind the gold state coach, ahead of 6,000 armed service personnel. Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, is expected to be there, but his ex-wife Sarah, the Duchess of York, will not attend. Her daughters Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, 9th and 11th in line to the throne, with their husbands, will be part of the royal party. Princess Anne's daughter Zara Tindall and her husband, former rugby star Mike Tindall, will be in attendance. Edward, the new Duke of Edinburgh, and his wife Sophie with their 2 children. There will be a fair showing of grandchildren, some directly royal, some part of the Queen Consort's family, some of them taking part in the ceremony. The late Queen had 18 great-grandchildren. Prince George, the son of Prince William and Catherine and second in line to the throne, will be one of 7 pages of honour, taking part in the procession through the Abbey, along with 3 of the Queen Consort's grandsons, Gus and Louis, Freddie, and her grandnephew Arthur Elliot. Prince George's sister Charlotte and younger brother Louis, who is 5, are also expected to attend. Queen Camilla's sister Annabel Elliot and her close friend Lady Lansdowne will be her ladies in attendance to help steady her nerves. And somewhere in the congregation there will be Camilla's ex-husband, Brigadier Andrew Parker Bowles. Well, that's just the immediate family. Thereafter there's the greater family. Much of European royalty, thanks to Queen Victoria and her abundance of children whom she married off all over Europe, has direct links with the British royal family. First to accept the invitation are not directly connected: Monaco's Prince Albert II and Princess Charlene, Sweden's King Carl Gustaf XVI, accompanied by his daughter Crown Princess Victoria, Spain's King Felipe and his Queen Consort Letizia, the former news anchor who won the heart of Spain's Crown Prince. We don't know whether the former King Juan Carlos will attend, although the 2 families have always been close. He and his wife, Queen Sophia, attended the Queen's funeral separately. Queen Margrethe II of Denmark, who recently underwent back surgery, will be represented by her son and daughter-in-law, Crown Prince Frederick and Crown Princess Mary. Last year, Margrethe announced that she was cutting 4 of her 8 grandchildren from the royal payroll and stripping them of their royal titles, in a bid to slim down the royal household, something King Charles has been thinking about. King Willem, Alexander and Queen Maxima of the Netherlands have confirmed that they will attend. They'll be joined by their daughter Princess Katerina Amalia and Willem Alexander's mother, the former Queen, Beatrix, now Princess Beatrix. King Harold V and Queen Sonja of Norway will be represented by Crown Prince Haakon and Crown Princess Mette-Marit. Grand Duke Henri of Luxembourg and Grand Duchess Maria Theresa of Luxembourg will probably be the oldest royal guests. King Philippe and Queen Matilda of Belgium, who both enjoy a close relationship with King Charles. Both royal families are in the process of confronting their imperial histories. Following the loss of her husband, the former King Constantine II of Greece, Queen Anne-Marie will be accompanied by her son and daughter-in-law, Crown Prince Pavlos and Crown Princess Marie-Chantal. And royal families from further afield. The King and Queen of Bhutan, known as the Dragon King, and his wife, who's been dubbed the Kate Middleton of the Himalayas. He is called Jigme Kesa Namgyel Wanchuk, and she is Jetsun Pema. And from Thailand we have King Vajiralongkorn and Queen Suthida. Japan's Crown Prince Akishino and Crown Princess Kiko. Also confirmed, Maori King Tuhetia Potato Te Werewero VII and Queen Te Atawei. Forgive my pronunciation. Also confirmed, Crown Prince Alexander and Crown Princess Catherine of Serbia. Confirmed, Margareta of Romania. She's representing the former monarchy with her husband Prince Radu, though her claim to the throne is not recognised by the Romanian parliament. The next category of heads of state may well come, but they haven't yet confirmed. King Abdullah II and Queen Rania of Jordan. Crown Prince of Bahrain. The Sultan of Brunei, whose son Prince Abdul Mateen of Brunei has been dubbed the world's most eligible royal. The Crown Prince of Kuwait. King Letsi III of Lesotho. His Majesty the Yang Tiperwan Agong and Her Majesty Raja Permaisuri Agong of Malaysia. The King of Morocco. The King of Tonga. Everyone who's there in 1953 remembers the Queen of Tonga, a larger-than-life character. The hereditary Prince of Baden and his wife Stephanie, and the hereditary Prince and Princess of Liechtenstein are among the non-reigning royals expected to have been invited. Another representative of a former monarchy is Bulgaria's ex-King Simeon II. The Emir of Dubai. The United Arab Republic. The UAE Vice President, Prime Minister and Emir of Dubai, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, and the Prime Minister of Georgia, Irakli Garibashvili. Which brings us now to key political figures in the United Kingdom. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has a key role in the service and will be the first among equals, alongside many members of his cabinet, ministers and peers from the House of Lords, who these days are mostly elected rather than there by heredity. Former UK Prime Ministers, the numbers keeps increasing, will be there. Liz Truss, the shortest-lived PM in history, Boris Johnson, Theresa May, David Cameron, Gordon Brown, Tony Blair and John Major. Of the current crop of ministers, the first new Minister of Scotland, Humza Yousaf, Mark Drakeford, the First Minister of Wales, Nicholas Lyons, the Mayor of the City of London, Richard Holden, MP for North West Durham, who is incredibly honoured to be attending the coronation because he won a ticket through a ballot. Michelle O'Neill, Sinn Féin Vice President, Alex Maskey, Speaker of the Northern Ireland Assembly, Leslie Hogg, Chief Executive of the Northern Ireland Assembly, and Sir Geoffrey Donaldson, leader of the Democratic Unionist Party of Northern Ireland. So now across the water to Europe and the rest of the world. First in line is Emmanuel Macron, President of France. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen represents the European Union. Andrzej Duda, President of Poland. Anthony Albanese, Prime Minister of Australia. David Hurley, Governor-General of Australia. Chris Hipkins, Prime Minister of New Zealand. Dame Cindy Kiro, Governor-General of New Zealand, and her husband, Dr. Richard Davis. Christopher Luxon, Leader of the Opposition in New Zealand. Mary Simon, Governor-General of Canada. Shehbaz Sharif, Prime Minister of Pakistan. Frank Walter Steinmeier, President of Germany, Sergio Mattarella, President of Italy, Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and Luis Araneta Marcos, President and First Lady of the Philippines. But of course, last but not least, US President Joe Biden, who is hoping to be re-elected next year, and he has asked the First Lady Jill Biden to take his place. And who will be sitting next to whom? And what is the pecking order? King Charles has been open about wanting to be a defender of faith, reflecting the religious diversity of the United Kingdom. Therefore, although the coronation is a religious ceremony based on the Anglican Church, representatives of other faiths will be participating or in attendance. They include Chief Rabbi Sir Ephraim Mirvis, KBE, Judaism, the Most Venerable Bogoda Silawimala, Buddhism, the Right Honourable the Lord Singh of Wimbledon, CBE, Sikhism, Radha Mohan Das, Hinduism, and Aliya Azam, MBE, Islam. Justin Welby, the Archbishop of Canterbury, who will conduct the service, Stephen Cottrell, Archbishop of York, John Amos, the Anglican Bishop of Edinburgh, Paul Butler, the Bishop of Durham, Michael Beasley, the Bishop of Bath and Wells, David Hoyle, Dean of Westminster. As discussed when looking at the robes of nobility and dressing down for this coronation, there will be significantly fewer aristocrats than 70 years ago. Still, select members of the nobility have a historic role in the ceremony, and they will be there, like Edward Fitzalan Howard, the 18th Duke of Norfolk, because he's in charge of the whole thing, David Cholmondeley, the 7th Marquis of Cholmondeley, and his wife Rose Hanbury, the Marchioness of Cholmondeley, and their son Oliver, who will be a Page of Honour. To all of those who are not British, this name, though pronounced Cholmondeley, is spelt Cholmondeley. Merlin Hay, the 24th Earl of Errol, will act as the Lord High Constable of Scotland, carrying a silver baton or staff. Anthony Lindsay, 30th Earl of Crawford, will be Deputy to the Great Steward of Scotland. Ian Campbell, the 11th Duke of Argyll. Joseph Morrow, the current Lord Lion King of Arms, will take part in the King's procession. Delaval Thomas Harold Astley, the 23rd Baron Hastings. People with ceremonial roles who will participate in the ceremony include Antonia Romeo, Clerk of the Crown in Chancery, responsible for recording the coronation. Admiral Sir Tony Radakin, Chief of the Defence Staff, will act as Lord High Constable of England for the day. Frances Dimmock, a lady farmer, who will carry the Royal Standard. Cadet Warrant Officer Elliot Tyson Lee will carry the flag of the United Kingdom. And the next little group will carry the standards of the quarterings of the Royal Arms, that's the 4 quarters of the Royal Shield, and the standard of the Principality of Wales. Hugh Grosvenor, the 7th Duke of Westminster. Charles Paget, 8th Marquis of Anglesey. Nicholas Alexander, 7th Earl of Caledon. Alexander Scrymgeour, 12th Earl of Dundee, who will carry the Lion Rampart of Scotland. Next, carrying King Charles's regalia in the procession, 12 people in all, Sir Gordon Messenger, the Governor of Her Majesty's Tower of London, who will bring St Edward's crown as Lord High Steward of England. Baroness Elizabeth Manningham Buller, formerly DG of MI5, will bring St Edward's staff. Richard Scott, the 12th Duke of Queensberry, will bring the sceptre with cross. Baroness Llewellyn Benjamin, the sceptre with the dove. Dame Elizabeth Anyonwu, the orb. Brigadier Andrew Jackson, Keeper of the Jewel House, the Sovereign's ring. Petty Officer Amy Taylor, the Sword of Offering. Simon Abney Hastings, the 15th Earl of Loudon, the Golden Spurs. Lord President of the Council, Penny Mordaunt, the Sword of State. Air Chief Marshal, the Lord Peach, the Sword of Mercy, the Katana. The Lord Richard of Hurst-Monceau, the Sword of Spiritual Justice. The Lord Houghton of Richmond, the Sword of Temporal Justice. 10 more Lords Temporal and Spiritual will then present the regalia to the King. Rupert Francis John Carrington, the 7th Baron Carrington, the Spurs. Baron Syed Kamal, the Armels. Baroness Gillian Merron, the Robe Royal. Reverend John MacDowell, the Church of Ireland, Archbishop of Armagh, the Orb. Baron Narendra Patel, the Ring. Inderjit Singh, Baron of Wimbledon, the Coronation Glove. Reverend Mark Strange, Bishop of Moray, Ross and Caithness, and Episcopal Primus of Scotland, the sceptre with cross. Reverend Andrew John, the Archbishop of Wales, the sceptre with dove. The Archbishop of Canterbury will perform the crowning. Queen Camilla's regalia will be carried by Baroness Helena Kennedy of the Shores, the Queen Consort's rod, General Sir Patrick Sanders, the Queen Consort's sceptre, Charles Wellesley, the 9th Duke of Wellington, Queen Mary's crown, the Right Reverend and Right Honourable the Lord Charterer, the Queen Consort's ring, and these will then be presented to Queen Camilla by the Reverend Rose Hudson Wilkin, the Bishop of Dover, the Queen Consort's rod. The Right Reverend and Right Honourable Lord Charterer, the Queen Consort's sceptre with cross. Brigadier Andrew Jackson, the Queen Consort's ring. And again, the Archbishop of Canterbury will be performing the crowning. Finally, a few select celebrities will be in attendance at the coronation service. For definite, Bear Grylls in his capacity as Chief Scout. Fashion designer Stella McCartney. Dame Joanna Lumley. Rowan Atkinson. Nick Cave. Sam Carr will carry Australia's flag. And no doubt the television presenters will tell us more. I can't really do the maths, but it seems to me that there are still a few hundred people in the Abbey of whom we know nothing. not to mention the thousands of members of the armed forces outside the Abbey, making it the largest military ceremonial operation in 70 years. Well, with so much splendour, pageantry and gorgeousness on view, there will have to be one last podcast post-festum devoted to what people wore. Not important to some, but to others absolutely vital. The order of events is officially the last of this countdown series because the day is almost upon us. This is Veronika Hyks, thanking you for listening.